Good morning. It's good to be with you on this Thursday morning. I'm glad to get to continue unpacking John's gospel with you today. Today we're going to read a good little chunk. We're going to be reading John chapter 8, verse 39 through 59, about 20 verses. This will finish out chapter 8, and there's a lot of really good stuff here today. Today's one of those days you're like, oh man, there's so many good places we could go to in the text. So let's read it and unpack what God has for us to hear today. So let's start with verse 39. They answered him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said to them, if you are Abraham's children, you will be doing what Abraham did. But now you are trying to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. This is not what Abraham did. You are indeed doing what your father does. They said to him, we are not illegitimate children. We have one father, God himself. Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I came from God and I am now here. I did not come on my own, but he sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot accept my word. You are from your father, the devil, and you choose to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he is speaking his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of all lies. But because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? If I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? Whoever is from God hears the words of God. The reason you do not hear them is that you are not from God. The Jews answered him, are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon? Jesus answered, I do not have a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Very truly I tell you, whoever keeps my word will never see death. The Jews said to him, now we know that you have a demon. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Yet you say, whoever keeps my word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died? The prophets also died. Who do you claim to be? Jesus answered, if I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me, he of whom you say he is our God, though you do not know him. But I know him. If I would say that I do not know him, I would be a liar like you. But I know him, and I keep his word. Your ancestor Abraham rejoiced that he would see my day. He saw it and was glad. Then the Jews said to him, you are not yet 50 years old. How have you seen Abraham? Jesus said to them, very truly I tell you, before Abraham was, I am. So they picked the stones up to throw at him, but Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple. Okay, so of all the things Jesus did that made the religious leaders mad, today took the cake. Today was the day that really, really took the cake. Because I don't know if you caught the significance of what happens there at the end. So he's talking about Abraham. He says, Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Because if you go back and look at the original call of Abraham in Genesis 12, God tells Abraham that through him all the nations of the earth will be blessed. So, in other words, through Abraham's offspring, through Abraham's promise, all the nations will be blessed. So, all the nations have been blessed by the Jewish people, and then ultimately, all the nations have been blessed through Jesus. So that Jesus is the fulfillment of that promise. So, and he said, so Abraham rejoiced to see. He said, uh, Abraham rejoiced. Your ancestor Abraham rejoiced that he would see my day. He was glad. He saw it and was glad. So through faith, Abraham saw Jesus coming. Abraham saw the promise that Jesus was fulfilling. So and they're like, how can Abraham have seen you? You're not even 50. How does Abraham see you? And he says, before Abraham was, I am. Remember, that phrase I am is so significant to the Jewish people because when Moses tells God, who shall I say sent me? He said, say that I am sent you. So I am is the name reserved for God. So Jesus here is declaring to the people his messiahship. Before Abraham was, I am. He's the great I am. He is God himself. He is declaring that he is God. So if anyone ever tells you, Jesus never declared these things, take them here. Take them to this passage here. Take them to this passage here. He is telling us who he is, that he is the Son of God. He is the I am. So that's cool. Good stuff right there. Verse 48. You know how you're in an argument with somebody and sometimes it devolves the name calling. So verse 48. The Jews answered him, are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon? Okay, that's a good. Anytime I guess you're in a fight with somebody, that's just your get out of that's your line. Or am I not right in saying that you're a Samaritan and have a demon? So let's, at the same time, we're going to say you're from a group of people we hate, and you also have a demon. And notice, Jesus Jesus doesn't answer the Samaritan part. He says, "I don't have a demon. I don't have a father." So he doesn't even. So they said the Samaritan part as an insult. He didn't respond to it because Jesus loves Samaritans too. Samaritans are worthy of the grace of God. A group attacking him with this to belittle him, Jesus just rejects the notion. Okay, call me a Samaritan. Fine. Samaritans are made in the image of God. I'm going to save them as well. So, but for me, verse 44 is a key passage to me. 44 says, "You were from your father the devil, and you chose to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of all lies." So I think that notion that the devil is the father of all lies is so significant because this is a point that we need to drill down deep into our brains. We understand the devil's language is to lie. The devil's always lying. So, friends, remember this. Temptation is always a lie. I think it's something one of my old bishops said one time. It stuck with me. Temptation promises short-term life and results in long-term death. Discipline promises short-term pain, but results in long-term life. Temptation is always a lie. Whatever the devil is tempting you with, whatever promise he's making to you, whatever temptation there is that seems so good, y'all, it's always a lie. Temptation leads to sin, sin leads to death. Temptation is always a lie. So if we can get that in our brains, that makes it easier to defeat temptation. Because if we can see temptation for what it is, which is that it is a lie, then we can more easily stand up to it because we're not going to fall for a lie. We're going to see it for what it is and see that it destroys us. But if we believe that temptation is telling us the truth, if we believe that the devil's telling us the truth, then we're more likely to fall for it and fall because of it. Temptation is always a lie. Temptation is always a lie. Remember that. Drill that deep into your head. That temptation is always a lie. The devil is the father of all lies. If the devil's lips are moving, they're lying. You can know that. Take that to the bank. It's the truth. Temptation is a lie. The devil is a liar. We're going to talk more about that in a couple of chapters when we get to John 10:10. That is the key for defeating and understanding temptation. To see it for what it is, to pull the veil away and to see it for what it is that it is a lie. Temptation's a lie. The devil's a liar. It's not the truth. So we can flee from it. We can run from it because whatever temptation you're dealing with right now, and whatever that temptation is promising you, it will not give it to you. It won't. It will not give that. It will not give to you what it is saying that it will give. Temptation is a lie. That's what the devil does. So that's a huge thing for us to really drill down in our brains. Think about how many people in your life who have given in temptation, thinking it was going to be some path to life or to make things better, and it always winds up destroying them. So, learn to see it for what it is. Learn to understand that temptation is a lie, evil is a corruption of goodness. There's nothing good in evil. There's nothing good in temptation. There's nothing good in sin. It's always destructive. It always harms. It always destroys. So Jesus is saying, you're lying. So you're speaking your native tongue. You're speaking the tongue of your father, the devil, who is a liar. So remember that. Remember that. Temptation always looks to promise us something good, but it never does. It always destroys, always lies, always kills. Temptation is a lie. So remember that. So I hope as we internalize these things and think about these things, it'll help us be able to stand up better against temptation when it comes and fight when temptation comes at us. So temptation is always a lie. So Thanks for being with us. Hope you can cling on to that, hold on to that deep in your heart. It'll really help you when you face it. So thanks for being with us. Tomorrow we're going to pick up with chapter 9, verse 1, where Jesus heals the sight of the blind. So can't wait to unpack it with you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.